I was over there strolling through those nasty, filthy Twitter streets, and as usual, they delivered. I went over there looking for something totally different, but yet the Twitter streets still delivered. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I want to first give a huge shout out to my old faithfuls. Thank you so much for all of the support that you have given to me over the years. I next want to give a huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you so much for the extra support that you provide to my channel. Next, I want to give a huge welcome to the newbies. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. And if you've come across this video and are not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. I'll be happy to have you. I went over to the Twitter streets to see what was popping with Nick Fuentes because he been real quiet lately. So I was like, I wonder what Nick Fuentes has got to say, possibly towards Tucker Carlson apologizing, the feud that's going on between Laura Loomer, aka Larry, and Candace Owens. And when I went over there to the Twitter streets and put in the search bar Nick Fuentes, this came up. And oh, grab your tea, grab your coffee, sip of orange juice, get your biscuit, get your bagel, get your scrambled eggs, get something, because a post by Shadow of Ezra popped up, right? It was from January. That was the first thing I noticed about the post. But he captioned it saying, Nick Fuentes claims Jeffrey Epstein's international trafficking operation should not be labeled pedophilia because it did not involve very young children. He says the victims were barely legal teenagers. The same statement has also been made by Alan Dershowitz. And I was like, why is Twitter giving me this? The first post, why is he giving me this? I said, oh, it must be because the post mentions Alan Dershowitz. And you know, Alan Dershowitz is trending because he's made the announcement that he's leaving the Democratic Party and he's becoming a Republican. Like we give a shit. And then I go on down and I scroll down and I come across the same post, but I saw that their king, Hasan Piker, had retweeted that post and captioned it with, "The right is trying to normalize pedophilia in the big 2-6." And I said, well, yeah, he's right about that. We all watching what Donald Trump is doing as far as blocking the release of the J files, right? And then we saw Megyn Kelly come out with her twisted take. I don't even want to get into that. But then okay, so Nick Fuentes is trying to validate. I was like, okay, well, he's right about that because we watching all this what's going on over there in the Republican Party. And y'all know me. I go down in the comments. And baby, when I went down in those comments, I was smacked in my face. Bitch. Red Eagle Politics commented under his post and said, "You effed a 15-year-old in Germany. You might want to sit this one out." And then the next commenter said, "At Grok, give me the backstory on this claim." And bitch, Grok gave us the backstory on that claim. Clutch your pearls. Grok said the allegation comes from streamer Destiny in November of 2025 amid a feud with Hasan Piker, known as Hasan the Bun. Destiny claimed Hasan had relations with a 15-year-old girl at a Berlin brothel. Hasan has admitted visiting the brothels years ago, but hasn't responded to the specific accusation. The claim is unverified with no evidence presented. In Germany, age of consent is 14, but prostitution requires age 18. Mm, mm, mm. So you know what my nosy behind did. I went back all the way out. I put in the search bar Hasan Piker, Destiny, brothels, and this came up. Destiny retweeted a tweet that says Hasan talks about vetoing Nick Fuentes, jokes on leftovers, blames Destiny for kickstarting Fuentes. Destiny retweeted that post and captioned that post saying, if Hasan is going to reach this hard to say that I kickstarted Fuentes' career, then I am responsible for his career 10 times over. Also, Hasan effed a 15-year-old when he was visiting that brothel in Berlin. That's why he doesn't like to talk about it as much now. The post is still up. He hasn't taken it down. The post is still up. So as I'm laying there clutching my pearls and thinking, this is their king? You guessed it. I went down into the comments. And down in the comments, Zach says, that's quite the allegation. Destiny responds to that allegation and says, it's common knowledge behind the scenes. If Hasan wants to contest it, he can sue me, but he won't because truth is an absolute defense against defamation. Bitch, somebody let me know. Has Hasan sued Destiny over this allegation? Mm. I scrolled down further and Grok said, Destiny alleged that Hasan Piker had sex with a 15-year-old at Berlin's Artemis brothel around 2010, framing it as an industry secret during their ongoing feud. However, no public evidence such as victim accounts, records, or probes substantiates this. Hassan's admitted brothel visit involved adults, and a 2016 raid cleared the venue of employing minors after finding procedural issues. Treat unverified claims skeptically until facts surface. Has Hasan sued Destiny over these alleged unverified claims? Mm. This is their king. Mm. Did Hasan sue Destiny over these claims? Mm. This is their king? Anywho, don't go nowhere. We got some more tea to sip. So I took all of that little information and I posted it over there on Threads and I moved on about my business. I went back on over to Twitter and I saw where No, it wasn't Twitter. I was on Threads. I was on Threads and I'm scrolling on Threads and I come across a post that is resharing screenshots from George Santos's Twitter. And in these screenshots, George Santos is spilling all of the congressional tea. George Santos says, attention folks, this is DC in a nutshell. While I was involved with politics and in Congress, these are some of the whispers that ran rampant in DC. Representative Max Miller of Ohio remains accused by more than one woman of hitting them. Representative Nancy Mace was rumored to have an affair with her female chief of staff. The caveat here is that her own staff made those allegations. Former Representative Anthony D'Esposito hired his mistress onto the payroll violating ethics rules. Former Representative Brandon Williams verbally assaulted and threatened his staff on video. Don't go nowhere. Sit down. There's more. Former Rep Rosendale was rumored to have an affair with one of his staffers. Then Rep Ruben Gallego cheated on his pregnant wife and divorced her while having several rumored allegations of him having inappropriate relationships with staffers, lobbyists, and reporters. Former Rep Katie Hill had an affair that formed a throuple with a staffer amongst many other rumors. Representative Thomas Swazi is rumored to have had an affair with a lobbyist. Former Representative Cawthorn had a reputation of sleeping around the hill and using his office like a bachelor pad. One reporter told me he lured her into his office one night, promising an exclusive on a subject, and then proceeded to make aggressive insinuations onto her. Former Rep Tom Reed allegedly had to resign in disgrace due to his sexual misconduct. Former Rep Eric Swalwell had a nasty reputation that was ignored and swept under the rug. Well, we see what's happening with Rep Swalwell now, aren't we? But moving on, Rep Richie Torres has rumors alleging he is always hitting on male staff on the Hill. Rep Brad Sherman has rumors and allegations of improper sexual behavior. Representative Jimmy Gomez has allegations of him cheating on his wife with younger women staffers. Representative Jared Golden has had rumors about his aggressiveness towards women in the press corps. Former Rep Anthony Weiner went to prison for sexual misconduct involving a minor. Rep John Rose married a woman that was a recipient of his education scholarship, a woman 22 years younger than him that he met when she was a minor. He finishes his post with, this list goes on, but the pattern remains the same. We have a sex problem in Washington, D.C. With all of this out there, the ethics committee focused on one man, Matt Gaetz, even though he beat every allegation against him investigated by both the Trump and Biden DOJ and FBI, and not a single charge was brought forward. D.C. is not a swamp. It's a cesspool. Okay, George Santos, you brought up all of these other people because you wanted to support Matt Gaetz. You brought up all of their proclivities to try to talk down on Matt Gaetz's proclivities. But we saw the text messages. We saw the messages through the Venmo, George Santos. That's very weird of you. I mean, the people that you listed, if all of that is true, yeah, they need to be voted out. They need to be voted out. And if there is evidence of criminal activity, charges need to be brought. And that means for Matt Gaetz too. I don't think that uh, yeah, George, I don't think that's the flex you think it is. Anywho, that's all the tea I got for y'all in this video. Mm, mm. Did y'all know that about Hasan Piker? They're the leftist king. Did y'all know about that? I, Now, I knew he was a racist. I knew he was a misogynist because I've shared all of those videos. I knew he was a racist and I knew he was a misogynist. And I know for as educated as he is in politics, he's not all that educated. And in my opinion, I think Hassan and his uncles are Republican plants. And I think their goal is to move the far left into the right. That's what I think their goal is. If you are paying attention, that's basically what is happening, right? Yeah. But yeah, all of that with George Santos, y'all let me know your thoughts. Put it down below. Yeah. Mm. Before I go, y'all, I want to give some thank yous to my peeps that sent me some love over on the Cash App and over on the Venmo. On the Venmo, I want to say thank you to Catherine W. Thank you so much for sending me love over there. Okay, I appreciate it. Over on the Cash App, I want to say thank you to Tanya M. I want to say thank you to Terry H. I want to say thank you to Jewel J. I want to say thank you to Sharon F. And I want to say thank you to Brian H. and Wendy V. Thank you all for showing me some love over on the Cash App. I really do appreciate y'all. All right, y'all, that's all I got. I'll see y'all later.